What food should you avoid if you have Lyme? The bottom line is the main thing is to avoid inflammatory foods. So that's the most important thing. Foods that cause inflammation in the body can just make everything worse. They can make fatigue worse, joint pain worse, brain fog worse, all the things. So looking at cutting out gluten is probably one of the primary things that I recommend. A lot of people have subclinical gluten intolerance. It's not necessarily full-blown celiac disease, but gluten intolerance is still an autoimmune process. But even outside of that, gluten is just flat out an inflammatory food, and most of my patients that cut it out feel a lot better. The other thing that can really help is cutting out all sources of refined sugars. Sugar is inflammatory. It's very addicting. It is more of a drug than a food. But most of all, it's very immune suppressive. And they have found that 1 teaspoon of sugar can suppress immune function for up to 16 hours, which is quite scary. And then the third group of foods that I have people avoid or at least minimize is dairy. Cow dairy in particular. Goat dairy is actually easier for humans to tolerate. We can digest it better because it's closer to human milk in structure, but cow dairy is really pretty hard to digest and can be very inflammatory and also very mucus producing within the body. So they're like the three sort of generalizations. Then I do like to get food intolerance testing, like food sensitivity testing on my patients so that we can really individualize nutrition, because one person maybe do great with eggs, the other person may be sensitive to eggs. And sometimes some weird things pop up like garlic or pineapples, things that you would consider healthy foods that you wouldn't think would be problematic, but they can be problematic for certain individuals. So gluten, sugar, dairy, in that order, and then looking at food sensitivities and cutting those out makes for the best strategy in my experience.